Hello, my darlings. Here's another video about how we feel, how we can identify it, and how we can express it. Because that's pretty much all we do as humans, don't you think? I mean, it helps us in everything we do. I can't think of anything it doesn't help us in, really, is being in touch with ourselves. And then we know better how to communicate with somebody else. So, I had some other ideas. Oh, okay, so I know these go backwards, so you might be watching this one before the first one I did because YouTube puts them in order weirdly. But one of the things, and I think this is an important thing to just keep repeating in your own mind every day, but I just think it's fascinating that in the English language, there's only 26 letters, and that is all that it takes to write every single book that's ever been written in the English language. I don't care what book it is. I don't care how complicated and how deep and how complex it is. It only took 26 letters. And in the human face, and you're a human, is it are 43 different muscles expressing. So if 26 letters express everything, imagine what 43 muscles can express. And I know you probably have your favorite actors, and when they're in movies and videos and series, you love to watch their faces. And in fact, because I'm in film and television, the thing that I know is when the camera guy and woman, camera people, the director of photographies, do a close up on a really emotional scene, that shows the actor's really doing a good job. That if the actor's not doing a good enough job in the close up, they have to go further away to kind of create the music and stuff. So, really, that's saying how powerful the face is for giving off the emotion. And that's why we love watching these people. I know that's a lot to think about, but I'm just saying that expressing your emotions, feeling what they feel like, being able to identify them is one of the most important things you'll ever do. So today I want to examine the idea. This helps you feel even more. So it's really good to get real curious and really interested in what you're feeling. And maybe even especially if it's a so called bad feeling. And at first we think, oh no, I'm having this feeling. What if oh no, and you start worrying about it. But then if you just think of it as a visitor who came to your house, who's just, got a little mud on their face and they're kind of sad, and you're like, what's wrong, honey? And you bring them in and you comfort them. And so one of the ways that you can really explore this, and it's really brave to explore feelings that aren't just really happy, is to, and this is what I do, is I think kind of, sometimes it helps to close your eyes and you can just breathe deep and picture in your mind's eye going inside your body and where you feel. A lot of my feelings are just right in where my ribs are. Can you feel your ribs? Yeah, there they are. And you feel your ribs, and then right where the kind of the bottom of the ribs, and then straight across where they kind of curve like this. But so here's your ribs curving like this, and then right in here for me, that little place that's right there, I have lots of feelings in there. And so a lot of times when I feel really bad or really sad, here's how I would describe it, is it feels like, have you ever seen concrete? You'll be walking along the sidewalk and somebody accidentally chipped into the concrete and you can see some rocks. Kind of, it's concrete and there's rocks. And sometimes I feel like I have concrete inside of me. So let's pretend, and I'm not trying to tell you what you're feeling. You can feel anything. You can feel like there's a frog there, or there's a pencil there, or there's one of your stuffed animals, wherever you're feeling it. You know, you identify it. It's your experience, and your experience is valid because it's yours and nobody else's, and it's important. So let's say, have you ever seen cinder blocks? Well, maybe you haven't. It's hard to know. I know. I'm going to say that I'm feeling this nail polish right in that, right between my ribs there. And it feels okay. And so even though we know the size of that nail polish, I'm going to picture, it can change because it's in your imagination, but it's also being in touch with what it feels like. And so what it feels like is it's getting bigger, and it's not red anymore. It's kind of got blue stripes in it with some silver, and it's big. Now it feels like there's a little edge to it, like it almost feels like there's a little sharp part of it that is just poking at me. And then you think, how big is it? It's about as big as, it feels like it's as big as my fist in there. And so then you just kind of are there with it. And the way I like to picture it too is, you know, when birds try to get their eggs, you know, they're incubating their eggs so that keeping them warm, they sit on them. So even though I'm not sitting on it, it's right in there, and I like to feel like I'm loving it and nurturing that part of me that's feeling kind of weird in the way I described it, and the colors and how big it is and all that stuff. So I just sit with it, and maybe I do a couple breaths. And then in my mind's eye, and this is the most surprising thing about this, in my mind's eye, and don't worry if you can't do it right away, just kind of play with it because it's fun, is I look at it again, just fresh, like I'm just, you know, like you open the drawer to see what's in the drawer right then, just looking again, fresh. And I look in, and then I see that, and you know, I'm kind of imagining that feeling, and I'm looking with my real imagination right now. And what it looks like to me in my mind's eye is it turned into kind of a pink, almost like a scarf, in, you know, like a handkerchief, but it's pink and it's very fluid. It's like it's floating in the ocean, and doesn't have any hard places at all in it, and it's not blue with silver stripes, and it's not red like it was. It's this little floating, like handkerchief, almost like a tissue, you know, like Kleenex tissue. But it's so beautiful, and it's just floating in there. And you can just keep doing that. You can keep looking to see what's going on. But what happened just then, as because I'm an actor, I was feeling maybe some old feelings, but I could feel exactly how some of those so-called bad feelings were feeling at the time. And I just embraced that. And like I said, you kind of sit on it, almost like you're trying to hatch an egg, but you're not really sitting on it. It's just right there in your belly or wherever. And then you look again and see what you've got. So should I do it one more time? I'm going to just do it one more time. So it was pink and floaty. That time, I'm not kidding, it turned into, in my mind's eye, in my imagination, it turned into a dandelion that had gone to seed. And in my mind's eye, it wasn't me blowing it, but it just, maybe the wind or something blew it, and it just scattered and disappeared. Aren't emotions fun? I think they're the most interesting part of my life. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I'll see what we do next time, but I love this stuff. I hope it's useful to you, and if not, it's something to do, right? No matter where you are, you're always there, and you always have your insides with you, so you've always got plenty to do. You don't even need a screen. You just have you, and you can feel all the things that a human being can feel just by being you. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time. Yay!